In this week's Seder of Pinchas, the daughters of Tzalofcha drew near to Moshe Rabbeinu as he was appointing the people per the command of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, who would apportion the various parts of Eretz Yisrael to the respective tribes. And they say to Moshe Rabbeinu, our father has died in the desert, and he was not numbered amongst those who rebelled with Korach against yourself and Naharon HaKohen. And therefore, Lama Yigar Hashem Avinu Mitoch Mishpachto. He had no sons, but why should his name effectively fail to be associated or attached with a portion of Eretz Yisrael? Why shouldn't we, his daughters, inherit his portion in the land of Israel? Says the pasuk, "Vayakriv Moshe es mishpaton lefnei Adonai." Moshe Rabbeinu took this matter, this question, directly as a word to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to receive the command and the nuances of explanation as to what should be followed, what should be done in such a situation. Says Rashi, Moshe Rabbeinu forgot a halacha? Moshe Rabbeinu received the entirety of the Torah and Torah Sheba'al Peh, Torah Sheba'al and Torah Sheba'al Peh on the mountain of Sinai. But this alma halacha mimenu, but this particular halacha, what to do for an individual, for a fellow who had died in the desert, leaving only daughters, this halacha he forgot. It was removed from him, as it were. Vikan, and here, nifra al shanata la Torah lomar, it was removed from him because of a tinge of perhaps arrogance for Moshe Rabbeinu when he appointed the judges of Klal Yisrael to help him adjudicate matters between everyone in the desert. He turned to them and he said, you who are in charge of the thousands and the hundreds and the tens, you'll adjudicate the cases. V'hadavar asher yikshe mikem, and the matter that will be too difficult for you, takrivin elai, you'll bring to me. So says Rashi, citing Chazal, Moshe Rabbeinu perhaps came across to them as saying, listen, at the end of the day, you'll be the judges, but you'll never be my equal. So when you fail to be able to come up with the answer, you'll pass it on, you'll pass it up to me, and I'll be able to answer it. I will be the last judge of the last resort. So because of that tinge of arrogance, as it were, Moshe Rabbeinu was caused to forget this halacha of what to do with daughters of an individual who passed away in the Midbar. So I have a question. I understand that Moshe Rabbeinu came across in a way that implied that he was, at the end of the day, greater than all the rest. But why was this particular halacha of the nachala, of the inheritance of the daughters of Tzalofcha, the halacha to be removed from him, requiring him to immediately run to God and ask, what do I do? And perhaps the answer is in the pasuk cited by Rashi. Moshe Rabbeinu turned to the judges after he appointed them and he said, you'll judge everything. V'hadavar asher yikshe mikem takrivun elai. And the matter that is too difficult, now if that's what it means, then it should have said, V'hadavar asher yikshe lochem. The matter that will be too difficult for you to ponder and come up with an appropriate answer and solution, takrivun elai, you'll bring to me. But the pasuk doesn't say, V'hadavar asher yikshe lochem, too difficult for you. Rather it says, V'hadavar asher yikshe mikem, which perhaps means, and the matter that will be too difficult, too hard, too hardened, mikem, from you, denied to you, as it were, from afar, a matter too difficult for you to deal with, takruvin elai, you'll bring to me, and I'll be able to handle it. Well, Moshe Rabbeinu was approached by the daughters of Tzalofcha, who said, why should our father not receive a nachala? Why should we not receive a nachala? What's the halacha, Moshe? And Moshe Rabbeinu, perhaps feeling to himself, you're asking for a nachala because you can't imagine being denied a portion of Eretz Yisrael? Well, look at me. I am being denied a portion of Eretz Yisrael because of the Mei Meriva. There will be no nachala, no portion in the land of Israel that will bear my name. And perhaps this matter that had been so hard for Moshe Rabbeinu to deal with, hardened it to the degree that it was not within his grasp. This was a davar that was not simply difficult for him to deal with, but perhaps it was kosher mimenu. So whereas he had said to the others, "V'hadavar asher yiksha mikem," when you'll have a matter that will be too distance from you, you'll find it too difficult to deal with, you'll pass it up to me. Because at the end of the day, you're not my equal. Well, here in this case, Moshe Rabbeinu indeed was very, very much the equal of the Bnot Zelofhad, to receive no portion whatsoever in the land of Israel. And for this, he had no simple explanation and no simple answer to provide them with. So, yaakov Moshe es mishpatan lifnei Adonai. At times in life, things are difficult for us to deal with. Not necessarily because we can't imagine what the answer would be, but at times because it's simply too personally painful. Have a wonderful Shabbos.